It's time for Studio 7, sponsored by your Permian Basin Chevy dealers.
Do you have outdated dark metal pieces hanging around your home? Before you toss them in the dumpster, just go grab a can of spray paint. In today's Drab to Fab, we're learning how to transform those outdated pieces into something you'll love. And the best part, it'll cost you close to nothing. We're joined now with our Drab to Fab contributor, Brandy Bell, and we are so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
So we all have these little accessories laying around our house, but we can freshen them up easily, right?
Absolutely.
Without having to redo everything.
That's right, especially if you have some of these older, kind of heavier looking pieces. I know many of you own these.
I think everyone's guilty of something like this.
And so we have lots of heavier colors, and don't be afraid to mix the lighter tones, the whites, the grays, the beiges, the ivories, in with your earth tones that you already have. They're all made to go together. So you can take what you already have and lighten it up, whether it's modern farmhouse, transitional, little mid-century modern. These pieces right here actually came from a client of mine. Her husband is very kind of King Ranch heavy, you know, and then she loves all things West Elm, anthropology, so she wanted a lighter look. So these started out this dark, and all I did was prime them with spray paint.
Spray paint is your best friend.
Spray paint is everyone's best friend. I love spray paint, and it's like $3 or $4 a can.
Right.
And so I primed it, and then I gave them all three a high gloss coat of white, and this was actually $1 from Lowe's. This is legit 99¢.
Wow.
And so I sprayed them all bright white, and then if you want an even shinier look, you can spray paint it with a crystal clear enamel, also $3 or $4. She does have some gold accents, so I taped off the bottom with like a plastic bag, and then I hit the top with a high gloss gold. But you could do a high gloss silver or anything like that. It doesn't really matter. It can go with, I mean, whatever your home's colors are, you can swap out the colors.
And I know a lot of women, including myself, I have the problem with my husband has a completely different taste than me, and he does not want to, you know, doesn't want anything fun. So you can mix in, I mean, how do you do that? You can mix in a few pieces?
So as long as you pick a way to give them continuity. So our way of giving them continuity is color. So she has lots of whites, lots of grays, lots of golds. We're taking his heavier pieces and we're kind of giving them that continuity. Same thing with this home. She had probably 80% of these kind of heavier tones, and she wants to lighten it up. She wants a fresher look. She wants it to feel airy. She keeps saying, I don't want it to be dark and drab anymore.
Right.
So we took these, literally spray painted one coat of gray. You can see how sloppy this is. Like I said before, it's called a sloppy copy, and you just very quickly
go over it.
And I think I actually used this beige because it's a little bit of a cooler beige. Warmer gray, cooler beige equals grayish. There you go. So we
fun fact.
And then you take a little bit of white paint. This is called dry brushing because you get your paintbrush wet. Then you knock a little bit of it off, and then you just
kind of go over it real quick, right?
Yep. Go in all different directions. It doesn't have to be.
So no rules when you're doing this, no rules.
No rules. If you give yourself too many rules, number one, it's not fun. And number two, you have all this pressure, and then it's just never going to be good.
See, I'm one of those people who's a perfectionist, and so this would like stress me out.
So I read one time that nobody ever wrote a book because they were a perfectionist. And so if you want to get stuff accomplished, you have to let go of that perfectionist quality.
And just kind of keep going, and it'll turn out.
Kind of keep going, and so literally, I mean, eyes closed. So, and it's just lighter, brighter.
You have a new, fun, fabulous piece.
Yeah, and it can still go anywhere. You can put it in the exact same place it was. It's just not as heavy as it used to be. And if you have something that you don't want to spray paint, you just want to give it a little bit of an update. This is ceramic. By the way, this is all resin. So it's basically a plastic base. This is wood and plastic base. All the spray paint sticks to it. If you're worried about how it's gonna look afterwards, how it's gonna hold up afterwards, you can spray it, you can seal it. It's never gonna chip, it'll be great. This guy right here, it's really kind of a rusty or orange color. It's not the look she was going for
And so many people have these kind of pieces in their house right now.
Yeah, and you don't have to spray paint it. You could dry brush, again, this is white, but you could dry brush gray, moss green, a pale blue if you're going for a French country look.
And just kind of do it real quick over it. No spray paint required.
You don't even have to necessarily do it that fast. It's going to get the same look if you're a little bit slower. So if you're a little nervous to just fling a paintbrush around, you could go a little slower.
And most people, have this paint laying around in their house already.
This is wall paint. Came from my garage. It was probably somebody else's wall paint, let's be honest, but it was in my garage. So this is much lighter. It's gonna still, have the same impact. It's
Look
just
good on the wall.
not as dark and heavy. And so you don't have to spray paint everything. Some things you can just dry brush.
A lot of new fun pieces, or the same pieces, but they just look so different.
You can dry brush the bird. He doesn't even really have a home. He's a homeless bird. So there you go.
Awesome, easy. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.